And one thing that I did not mention is throughout this whole thing, Mr. Logic has been threatening my life.
Don't step to Ghana. I'll fucking murder you.
You're serious right
I'm
now?
telling you the truth. Yes, it's gonna get very bloody for you.
Good, because I'm
That's what I'm
recording.
telling you.
I'm
You better
recording
talk.
this too.
You better.
I'm recording this
Record
conversation,
it. Record it.
and it will
You
be
better
sent
you
to the
talk
police.
Like, he's threatened my life multiple times.
Aha, gossip 247. NT for the second time, Mr. Logic has been accused of fraud. Just say second one with the from on one kasane artist or sign to the record label a friend Mo Spence. Na Mo Spence in sema or cano and yeah fraud in kwa or cha I could do a point I Mr. Logic a born a traitor to say ye do be kuni nemu na Mr. Logic ababe reply. Now we say the video in a Mo Spence in some or canon kwa and ye mount. Second video be uploading Mr. Logic no. It is on subscribe to your channel where message also subscribe say they uploaded that video now. No one your notification say upload video na waba share. In some Mo Spence can say Mr. Logic or no Mo Spence no or signing no. And yeah Mr. Logic sika and all you should be.
Okay, so basically we were living in Koforidua, and in order for the music career to go well, we had to move to Accra, because obviously Accra is where all the action is. So I moved to Accra, and Mr. Logic was dealing with pretty much the landlord who we were moving into the new house for, right?
And Mo Spence time over share Mr. Logic no na o Koforidua na o movie say o ba Accra say the be obetimi aye the music no. Na no na say Mr. Logic handle a year a fear obe movie akomo no a year new apartment no. Mr. Logic na handle a year landlord issue no den e amano because na o problem with immigration inti Mr. Logic boa no say the be ya obetimi enya work permit na so matna Ghana na wakoso aye na nyomo no.
So he was dealing with the landlord. And one of the reasons why is because we were having a little bit of issues with immigration. Like, we were going back and forth with immigration, and Mr. Logic was helping us to be able to stay in the country so that I would be able to do the music.
In the end, the plan was to get a work permit. In the end, Mr. Logic, they convinced me say, on to a 3 years work permit.
The plan was for us to get a work permit. So Mr. Logic convinced us that we needed to get a 3-year work permit, and then after that we could apply for citizenship. So we agreed, and we paid a lot of money to get it done, to be under his company as his employees. Like I said, we went to that new house in Accra. Basically in Accra or anywhere in Ghana, what they do is they want you to pay for the year up front, right? They don't do like monthly rent. So we had to pay for a whole year up front. So we did that, right? We paid for 1 year, and then the 1 year went up, and now we're going into the second year, so we paid for the second year. What we did not know was that man, Mr. Logic, he was paying himself instead of paying the landlord the money. And the thing is, I found out later on that the landlord was complaining a lot and was very upset, but Mr. Logic would always stop the landlord from coming to the house. He did not want us to have any interaction with the landlord whatsoever.
And Mr. Logic egusuni ni ye adwuma na na chese didimuwa na ye true ono the music career ye the channel so omko share a beautiful family from America. Na eno na Mr. Logic eba mu a Mr. Logic ni omakasa say oh wo pese mba Ghana be adwuma nko ade nye problem metimi age work permit amamo na motimi ayeden aba Ghana na maba be bibia. Long story short no ikowi say Mr. Logic a defraud won sika chese ekobe $21,000 ema eno no omodi ne ekojina court.
And we met a beautiful family from America who basically through our channel, we met an American family, we became good friends, we started to work together, and Mr. Logic stepped in and said that he could do the same thing for them, get them a work permit under his company, which they agreed as well. And long story short, he ended up going to court because they ended up taking him to court for defrauding them for this work permit. And basically he did the same thing to me and my family as well. He defrauded us out of thousands of dollars, just like he did with the American family. So now basically we have no work permit. We have no work permit, and we noticed that all of a sudden Mr. Logic has a new car, he has a new house, okay? I recorded the conversations of him threatening my life. I have screenshots of him threatening my life. He even told my mother that he's coming for my life. He told my mother he's coming for my life. He's even sent me emails where he's threatening my family's life. He's like, say, if I don't keep quiet and if I don't resolve this issue with him privately, that he will come after me and he will come after my family. He's like, when I think that everything is fine and quiet and normal, that's when he's gonna come after me and my family. We shot a music video for one of the songs on the EP. We shot a few music videos, but only one came out. And I was, I've been on TV, I'm on radio, and things are going well, right? Things are going well, so I'm like, okay, this is great. So we're starting to build this trust for Mr. Logic. And that is where we went totally wrong. That's where we went wrong. So we built this trust for him, and then we just kept sending him money. Okay, if you get signed, usually when you get signed, the label is the one that takes care of all the finances and expenses. But with his company, I guess it was more like a management company. So any kind of services that I needed, basically like a music video, radio promo, anything, I had to be the one to pay for it. It was not coming out of the label's pockets at all. It was coming out of our pockets. So, things were going well for a while, and then all of a sudden things started slowing down. And I'm like, hey, okay, so when are we gonna start shooting the music video for these other songs? Because I already paid for them, and they were not cheap. And I just keep seeing his life go up, going up, going up. He's living a lavish life. And I'm sitting there and I'm stuck and my career is going nowhere. It just all of a sudden just stopped. Like if you see the progression, you'll see, oh, Mo is doing great. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, where's Mo? What happened? Like, how come there's no new information, no updates about Mo? And it's because he kept taking the money and not doing the work. So it got to the point where like I was getting fed up and I'm like, look, what's going on? Because I paid for all this money and nothing is getting done. And he's like, don't worry. This director, he's busy, he's traveling, he's doing this. Oh, this is that. Like there was always an excuse, and there's always, okay, no, don't worry, Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday. Like he just always had an excuse for everything. So he told me that I needed to go to South Africa. And the reason why I needed to go to South Africa is because we recorded a song called Be Happy. And I agreed to it because it has like a amapiano vibe to it. It has a very South African sound to it. So I agreed that, okay, I'll go to South Africa, shoot a music video out there, do some TV promo, do some radio promo. That was on the itinerary. Like that was what I was supposed to do when I go to South Africa. But before all of that happened, he gets sued by the American family. And they ended up going to court and everything for it. And Mr. Logic even went to jail for a few days, and he had to hand over his passport. Like I guess because he was not supposed to travel, right? Because he's going to court for frauding people. You're defrauding people. You can't leave the country. So after the whole court thing was settled, they had issued another court date. So I think the other court date was supposed to be in August or September, something like that. And this was May, right? This was like May, June. Okay. He went to court, faced his charges and everything, and they told him what he needs to do. He needs to pay back the money before the next court date, which was in August or September. Then the American family had to leave at the end of June. They left, okay? They left. And then I had to leave to go to South Africa because it was already in the plan. Like before the whole court stuff happened, the plan was for me to go to South Africa. So as soon as I get to South Africa, I had to go on my own because obviously this whole court thing happened and he's not able to leave. He's not able to leave the country. Like in the first month, I ended up being there now for 1 month. I'm there for 1 month and I'm like, look, I'm running out of money. I need to go back to Ghana because clearly everything is not going the way it's supposed to go. He's like, don't worry. He's like, by the way, I'm coming. He said he's coming. He's going to come and join me. So I said, oh, okay. All right. He's like, when I come, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. So he ends up, a whole month later, he ends up coming to South Africa and joining me in South Africa. It got so bad that he's like, look, I need to stay in your Airbnb with you, right? So I left the hotel to go to an Airbnb to see if I can save a little bit of money. This man came into my Airbnb and all he was doing all day was watching Netflix and eating the food that I bought. It got to the point where I said, you know what, I'm done. I cannot pay for any more Airbnbs. I cannot pay for any more food. You have to start paying because you brought me out here. You told me to come out here. You pay for it. So we ended up going to a new spot. We had to go to this hotel, and he couldn't even last a whole week. He was always complaining, oh, it's too expensive, oh my god. Like, it was always like he was just bitching and complaining all the time about how he can't pay for it, it's too expensive. Everything about him just turned into this ugly person. So it got to the point where he was just fed up and he didn't want to pay for my hotel stay and he didn't want to pay for my food, that he actually left me and abandoned me at the hotel. He ended up driving off in some white car with some Indian woman.